The history of humanity is one continuous war. Out of the last 3.5 millennia, the planet Earth has only known peace for 292 years. Roughly speaking, for every day of peace, there have been 12 days of war. How many lives have been lost and why do people fight in the first place? That's a complex question and we'll try to answer it over the next few minutes. At the same time, we'll think about what Earth would be like if humans didn't have the foolish and insane desire to kill each other. It will be sad, but also enlightening. Stay with us and try to answer in the comments. Why do people fight? Let's start by considering that from a moral standpoint, we're less developed than animals. Lions kill zebras, crocodiles eat fish, and wolves hunt rabbits. But none of them do it for fun. Animals just want to eat, and National Geographic has a valid point when it says the death of one animal means life for another. Lions might argue with cheetahs over better hunting grounds and even fight, but they won't chase after them with the clear goal of killing. Only humans do that. But why do we do it? Scientists don't have a definitive answer to this question. Psychologists studying the animal world have come closest. Jane Goodall, a researcher of chimpanzees, spent a long time studying apes and concluded that they also fight among themselves. Primates, like humans, can kill for fun and even experience a kind of excitement from taking a life. At this point, some might point out that cats also kill mice without the need for food. But it's important to remember that cats lack reason. From the perspective of these furry troublemakers, they're just playing with a fluffy ball, and whether it's alive or not doesn't matter to them. Humans and the primates closest to us kill consciously. A simple analogy comes to mind. War is a consequence of the high intelligence of species. And to some extent that's true. Sigmund Freud explained war through aggression and a subconscious death wish, Hegel through the loss of societal development, and Lenin through class struggle. But in our view, classic psychologists came closest to the answer. They claim that our brain is capable of compassion and empathy. Humans can feel another's pain as their own and see killing as something inevitable, especially if they are killing for an idea they believe in. Lions, crocodiles, and other predators don't have such cognitive abilities, which is why we never see a situation where all the tigers of Africa gather together to go kill the tigers of Asia. Sounds logical enough, right? As for human society, since ancient times, murder has been seen as a terrible sin. In one form or another, it was punishable even at the dawn of humanity. For example, in ancient Greece, you would have been executed for intentional murder. But there is a small caveat. If murders are committed in mass by large groups of people, they turn into acts of heroism known as military feats. That's the paradox of humanity. Religion, social and political structures don't entirely deny the necessity of war for just a cause, and nearly all human epics are somehow tied to the act of taking life from others. From the ancient Greek myths about the Spartans to the wars of brave Americans in Iraq, humanity has shown no progress in these regards. Just as Neanderthals who killed off other tribes were considered heroes in ancient times, today those who take lives are often rewarded and honored. We don't dispute that in certain situations this is necessary and deserving of the highest praise and respect. Terrorists and other human scum won't disappear, but they are exceptions. They are not connected to the fact that during the First and Second World War, people sent each other to the grave by the millions. The statistics are truly horrifying, at the very least because of their ambiguity. In print, you might come across information stating that through human history, 3.5 billion people have died in wars. It's hard to believe such statistics, especially considering that in 1804, the Earth's population only reached 1 billion for the first time. But still, anything is possible, especially since in 1959, Jean-Jacques Babel conducted extensive research and found that over 5,559 years, the planet was shaken by 14,513 wars of various scales. Of course, not all of them were destructive. For example, in 1896, Britain declared war on Zanzibar, and it lasted only 38 minutes. The Queen's army quickly stormed the Sultan's palace and captured the ruler. On the other hand, the Netherlands and the Isles of Scilly were technically at war for 335 years, during which not a single person died. Such conflicts also count in statistics, but dismissing the numbers as grossly exaggerated would be foolish. After all, the example of World War II, which by the most conservative estimates took 40 million lives, is still fresh in humanity's memory. And if you delve into history and look at what happened in China, your hair will stand on end, not just on your head. In 1850, during the Qing dynasty, the Chinese fought against colonizers who had taken over the country, and the death toll from the conflicts ranges from 20 to 100 million. Earlier, during the Qing dynasty's rise to power, another 25 million people died. Genghis Khan's massive empire also won't build peacefully. His 24 million square kilometers of conquests cost 30 million lives. That was 7.5% of the world's population at the time. Pessimists even claim that the wars of Genghis Khan took 60 million lives, which only further inflates an already insane figure. Going deeper is painful. Many may justify the necessity of wars, but no one can dispute their colossal death toll. This brings us to the question: what if evolution had altered our minds to remove the need for war? Pessimists will instantly argue that the planet would have faced famine, overpopulation, and other life's misfortunes. The classic position of war supporters is simple. They explain war through resources, geopolitics, and other such things. The problem is that all these reasons are created by those in power who have always wanted to expand their influence through war. After all, it's not them who die on the battlefields. Science has its own take on the matter. In pure numbers, Earth can sustain between 4.5 and 20 billion people. So even now, at the peak of population growth, we're not far beyond the limits. And now scroll through the news feed of any science group. NASA proved 2 years ago that Earth-grown potatoes can be cultivated even in Martian conditions. Bill Gates has invested in lab-grown meat production. And right now, KFC is launching a pilot project in several stores where only artificial meat products will be sold. Now think about how many potential Mendeleevs, Teslas, and Einsteins never discovered their genius because they died somewhere in a trench under the English Channel. We're not claiming as fact that humanity would be better off without wars. We're simply saying that the global spending on science is almost 10 times less than on the military. If those numbers were reversed, cutting-edge renewable resource technologies and artificial food would likely be commonplace, meaning that the issue of food and resources would resolve itself, taking away the main argument from war supporters. Let's not forget that in 2019, just like our ancestors, we still live in our own caves and look at the caves of other tribes with caution. Only now caves have been replaced by countries, and spears by high-tech weapons capable of killing millions of people at once. Every time you put food in the refrigerator, remember that our ancestors invented storing food in cold places of caves tens of thousands of years ago. Everything you see around you is not a revolution, but an evolution. We're merely perfecting means of communication, sustenance, and killing. Unfortunately, as long as humanity doesn't understand that a simple janitor from Australia can be your double and share all your interests, while your neighbor might be your complete opposite, we will continue to stagnate. Until we meet again, friends.